Picture yourself standing at a threshold where love and loss converge, a moment when the weight of sorrow intertwines with the promise of an eternal embrace. In the stillness that follows the farewell to a cherished family member, a question lingers in the heart that no one dares to fully answer. When we step into eternity, will the faces of those we have lost remain familiar? Tonight, we embark on a journey to uncover the profound truth about the relationships that await us beyond this life. In the midst of our grief, when the ache of separation feels unbearable, there is an invitation, a call to discover a hope that transcends the boundaries of time and space. This is not merely an exploration of what the Bible teaches about the afterlife. It is an intimate conversation about how the love of family endures, even when physical presence fades away. The promise of eternal reunion is not a vague comfort, but a vivid, life-altering reality that has been woven into the fabric of our faith. Imagine the warmth of a smile, the gentle touch of a hand, and the sound of laughter echoing once again in a place where every tear is wiped away. It is here, in the realm of eternal life, that the bonds of family are not broken by death, but are instead transformed into something even more magnificent. Our souls, once separated by the transient nature of earthly existence, will be reunited in a communion of pure, unending love, a love that no sorrow or time can diminish. Before we delve deeper into the mysteries of eternity, I invite you to pause and reflect on a single word: forever. Type this word in the comments below if you believe that true love endures beyond the limits of this world. Your simple act of sharing this moment may spark hope in someone else's heart and remind us all that our time here is a precursor to an everlasting embrace. As we traverse this path of biblical wisdom and heartfelt revelation, you will encounter insights that challenge old assumptions and ignite a desire to live each day with purpose and passion. The scripture offers us a roadmap, a narrative that moves from the certainty of physical loss to the glorious promise of an eternal family reunion. And as you listen, let the words resonate with the deep, unspoken longing within you, a longing for connection, for belonging, and for a love that triumphs over even the finality of death. The truth we are about to unfold is not for the faint of heart. It is a journey through the depths of grief into the heights of hope, where every question finds its answer in the light of divine revelation. Stay with us, for what lies ahead may transform not only your perspective on life and death, but also the way you cherish every precious moment with those you hold dear. In the quiet aftermath of our farewell, when the heart grapples with the void left by those we've lost, a profound mystery beckons us. What awaits our souls once the veil of earthly life is lifted? The scriptures reveal that our existence does not simply conclude with the final breath. Rather, it transforms into a new chapter, a chapter where the bonds of family are not severed but refined into something eternal and unbreakable. The Bible teaches us that the physical body is but a temporary vessel, destined to return to the dust, while the soul embarks on a journey toward everlasting communion with the divine. This assurance comforts us in our sorrow and ignites a spark of hope that transcends our human understanding. From the moment of our departure, the Spirit is said to be received into the presence of the Lord, a truth echoed in passages such as 2 Corinthians 5:8, which reminds us that to be absent from the body is to be present with Him. In that divine presence, the weary souls of believers find rest, and the promise of reunion with loved ones becomes not just a distant hope but a tangible reality. This is the promise that the Bible lays before us, a reunion where every tear is erased, every sorrow healed, and every broken relationship mended in the light of God's eternal love. Imagine a place where the anguish of separation is replaced by the warmth of recognition, a realm where the faces of those we miss are not lost to time, but are transformed into beacons of love and hope. In the account of the Transfiguration, Peter, James, and John witnessed a miraculous encounter with Moses and Elijah, figures from a bygone era who were unmistakably themselves, despite having been long dead. Their familiar presence affirmed that our identity persists beyond death. Our essence remains intact and recognizable. This continuity of identity ensures that, upon entering the realm of eternity, the love we share with our family endures. Every smile, every comforting embrace, and every shared memory is preserved in its purest form. The certainty of this promise does more than soothe our grief. It compels us to re-examine our lives. It is a call to cherish every moment and to nurture the relationships that define us. In the midst of everyday challenges, the awareness of an eternal reunion instills in us a deep urgency to love more passionately, to forgive more readily, and to hold our loved ones closer. The invitation is not only to prepare for the afterlife, but to live with a perspective that transforms every interaction. Consider the simple yet profound act of sharing a kind word or a warm gesture with someone dear. These are the seeds of eternal connection that will blossom into the full, radiant reality of heaven. Throughout history, many have pondered the mystery of what happens when our mortal journey concludes. Countless theories and speculations have emerged, each offering a different view of the afterlife, from the notion of eternal sleep to ideas of dissolving into cosmic energy. Yet the biblical perspective stands apart in its clarity and assurance. It is not mired in ambiguity or abstract philosophy. Instead, it is rooted in the loving, intentional design of a Creator who desires an everlasting fellowship with His children. This divine blueprint tells us that our relationships, though altered in form, will remain deeply personal and filled with the same essence of love that defined them on earth. In the glow of this eternal promise, we are invited to reimagine our current reality. The relationships we sometimes take for granted, be it the warmth of a parent's hug, the shared laughter among siblings, or the quiet companionship of a dear friend, are not fleeting moments but glimpses of a greater destiny. When we reflect on these connections, we are reminded that each act of love and kindness has eternal significance. It is a powerful thought that calls us to invest in what truly matters, the cultivation of hearts that mirror the unconditional love of God. For those who find themselves in the midst of pain and loss, these truths offer more than just comfort. They provide a roadmap for healing. The assurance of recognizing our loved ones in heaven is a balm to the grieving soul, a promise that even in our deepest sorrow, there is a future where the love of family is restored to its perfect form. As we internalize this message, we are encouraged to look beyond the immediate grief and to embrace the hope of an eternal reunion. The vision of a place where every sorrow is transformed into joy and every parting is rendered temporary has the power to reshape our lives, imbuing us with the strength to face each day with renewed purpose. Before we move forward, take a moment to reflect on a simple phrase: eternal reunion. If this phrase resonates with your heart, please share it in the comments below. Your words of hope can inspire others and remind us all that our lives are part of a grand, divine narrative, a narrative that reaches far beyond the boundaries of our earthly existence. The journey into understanding the eternal nature of family is both a deeply personal exploration and a universal truth. It challenges us to reconsider how we perceive life, loss, and the enduring power of love. With every step, the promise of heaven draws us closer to a reality where our identities remain intact, our relationships are perfected, and the divine love of God becomes our eternal inheritance. The transformation of our mortal existence into something gloriously eternal is a mystery that invites us to live with hope, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to the bonds that unite us. The transformation of our mortal existence into something gloriously eternal not only reshapes our understanding of life and loss, but it also challenges us to reframe our very sense of identity and purpose. Every whispered memory, every cherished moment spent with those we hold dear becomes a thread in the grand tapestry of our eternal destiny. In this new reality, the sorrow of separation is not an end, but a beginning, a doorway to a reunion where every facet of our relationships is renewed in perfect clarity. The Bible speaks to this promise with such vivid imagery that it is impossible not to feel a stirring in the soul. In passages where Jesus reveals the nature of the resurrection, we catch glimpses of a future where our earthly limitations vanish. For instance, the resurrection body is described as imperishable, free from the decay and pain that once burdened us. This promise is a declaration that death, as we understand it, is not the final chapter but merely a transition. It invites us to reimagine our everyday struggles, to see them as transient moments on the path to an everlasting joy that awaits beyond the grave. Think of a time when you felt overwhelmed by grief, when the void left by a loved one seemed too vast to fill. In that very moment, there was also a spark of hope, a quiet assurance that somewhere beyond our current pain, there exists a reality where every tear is wiped away and every loss is mended. That hope is not a mere wish, it is a profound truth anchored in the eternal nature of our souls and the unchanging love of God. It reassures us that the bonds we have forged on earth do not vanish with death. Rather, they are refined into relationships that are more profound and beautiful than we can currently comprehend. Imagine entering a realm where every memory is as vivid as the moment it was made. The laughter, the hugs, the shared glances full of understanding and unspoken words. In that place, time is irrelevant, and the essence of who we are remains untouched by the passing years. Our identities, steeped in the love and experiences of our earthly lives, persist with such clarity that every reunion feels like coming home after a long journey. It is in this divine reunion that the true power of love is revealed, a love that surpasses the bounds of human limitation and transforms every farewell into a promise of renewed connection. This vision of eternal life invites us to reflect on our current existence. It challenges us to embrace the truth that every act of kindness, every moment of forgiveness, every expression of love is an investment in our eternal future. The choices we make each day, no matter how small they seem, are echoes of a much larger design, a design where each gesture contributes to the legacy of our souls. When we engage in acts of compassion and reach out to mend broken bonds, we are, in a sense, preparing ourselves for that ultimate reunion where nothing is lost and everything is made whole. Moreover, the promise of eternal family is not confined to our earthly relatives alone. It extends to every believer, uniting us in a community of shared faith and hope. The Church, as a body of believers, is a foretaste of the unity that awaits us in heaven. Each member contributes to a collective mosaic of love, where differences are harmonized into a symphony of divine connection. This vision transcends the boundaries of human relationships and offers a picture of a community where every soul is recognized, valued, and loved beyond measure. The narrative of eternal reunion also serves as a powerful motivator for the here and now. It calls on us to live with intentionality, to value the time we have, and to invest deeply in the relationships that define our lives. The reality of heaven should encourage us to forgive more freely, to reach out with empathy, and to cultivate bonds that reflect the infinite love of our Creator. It is a reminder that the legacy of our lives is not measured solely by our earthly accomplishments, but by the love we share and the memories we create with those who matter most. Now, I invite you to take a moment and reflect on the significance of these eternal truths. Consider the relationships in your life and the ways in which you nurture them. If you find that the promise of eternal reunion fills your heart with hope and determination, type eternal hope in the comments below. Your words can ignite a spark in someone else's journey, reminding them of the beautiful truth that our connections are destined to transcend even the boundaries of death. As we continue to explore the depths of biblical wisdom on the afterlife, let these reflections encourage you to see your present in a new light. Every moment is an opportunity to build lasting bonds, to extend grace, and to live with the assurance that what awaits us is far greater than any sorrow we endure today. The promise of knowing one another in heaven is not just a comforting thought, it is a call to action, an invitation to shape our lives in a way that honors the eternal destiny that awaits. Our journey into the promise of eternal reunion draws us deeper into the heart of divine mystery, where every experience on earth takes on a new meaning in light of eternity. The idea that our relationships are not finite, that the love we share transcends the limits of time and space, becomes a source of solace and inspiration. In reflecting upon this truth, We begin to see our lives as more than a series of fleeting moments. They become a part of a grand narrative where every encounter is a stitch in the fabric of an everlasting family. This eternal perspective invites us to reconsider the way we interact with one another. It reminds us that the bonds we form are sacred investments in our future. Each act of kindness, each moment of understanding, every shared smile is a testament to the unbreakable ties that will one day be renewed in their full glory. The biblical accounts of transformation and resurrection assure us that the essence of who we are, our very identity, is preserved beyond the physical realm. It is this promise that offers us the courage to embrace life with a renewed passion, a passion that is not dimmed by the inevitability of loss, but brightened by the hope of reunion. Consider the profound impact of forgiveness and reconciliation on our lives. When we forgive, we echo the eternal grace that awaits us, a grace that mends the deepest wounds and restores broken connections. The act of forgiving is not merely a gesture for this moment. It is an echo of the everlasting mercy that defines our destiny in heaven. By choosing to forgive, we not only liberate ourselves from the chains of past hurts, but also prepare our hearts for the unconditional love that will greet us in the afterlife. In this way, every decision to extend forgiveness becomes a step toward a future where every relationship is healed and every division is overcome. The hope of an eternal reunion also reshapes our understanding of the pain of separation. Grief, while a natural and human response, is transformed when viewed through the lens of eternity. The loss of a loved one, though deeply felt in the present, is reimagined as a temporary state, a pause before the joy of a complete and unhindered reunion. This vision of the future is so powerful that it transforms the way we experience our present sorrows. It teaches us that even in the midst of heartache, there is a promise of restoration that outshines the darkness of the moment. Reflect on the beauty of a life lived with the awareness that every goodbye is temporary. When we embrace the promise of eternal family, our everyday interactions take on a profound significance. A heartfelt conversation, a shared moment of vulnerability, or even a simple gesture of love becomes a preparation for the reunion that awaits us. In our conversations, our actions, and our expressions of care, we are already building the framework for a future where every relationship is celebrated in its fullest form. The knowledge that our connections are destined to be everlasting encourages us to be more intentional, more loving, and more compassionate in our daily lives. This promise of continuity and restoration is not confined to the realm of the personal. It has broader implications for the way we view community and society. The unity of believers, the collective hope of those who share the same eternal destiny, forms the foundation of a community built on mutual love and understanding. In this community, differences dissolve, and every individual is embraced as a vital part of a larger family. The Church, as a living example of this unity, becomes a foretaste of the perfect harmony that awaits in heaven. It is in this shared experience that we find the strength to overcome the divisions of the world, recognizing that every soul is part of an eternal family under the care of a loving Creator. Moreover, the promise of eternal reunion offers a fresh perspective on the challenges we face in our present lives. Every trial, every setback, every moment of despair is set against the backdrop of an eternal hope that cannot be diminished. When we view our struggles through the lens of eternity, we realize that they are but temporary obstacles on the path to everlasting joy. This understanding empowers us to face adversity with a spirit of resilience and determination. We learn that the hardships of today are not the final word, but rather a prelude to the perfection that awaits in the fullness of time. At the core of this hope is the certainty that our essence, our very being, is preserved beyond the physical limitations of this world. The promise of a transformed existence, of bodies glorified and relationships perfected, invites us to dream of a future where we recognize every familiar face with clarity and affection. It is a future where the beauty of our earthly memories is magnified into something far greater than we can imagine, a radiant tapestry of love, unity, and divine purpose. In this eternal light, the past is not forgotten, It is celebrated as a crucial part of the journey toward an everlasting home. If you find that this vision of eternal unity touches your soul, please take a moment to type "everlasting bond" in the comments below. Your response not only affirms this message, but also creates a ripple of hope for others who may be seeking the same comforting truth. Each word of affirmation strengthens our collective faith in the promise that every relationship we cherish is destined to be eternal. Let this understanding fill you with a renewed determination to live in a way that honors the future awaiting us all. Every interaction, every moment of love and forgiveness is a step toward a reunion that will surpass our wildest dreams. The promise of eternal family is not a distant ideal. It is a living, breathing reality that invites us to invest deeply in the bonds that define us. The promise of eternal reunion, however, is not without its challenging questions. One of the most heart-wrenching concerns many believers face is the fate of those dear to us who have not embraced the saving truth of Christ. In our most vulnerable moments, when grief meets fear, we wonder how a future so radiant can coexist with the pain of eternal separation from those we have loved all our lives. This concern is neither abstract nor theoretical. It is a personal struggle that tugs at the very fabric of our hope. Scripture leaves us with little comfort on this matter, and yet it reveals an unwavering truth. The eternal destiny of every soul is a reflection of the choices made in this life. The weight of this truth is profound, for it means that the love we extend to one another in the present holds eternal consequences. The idea that some of our family members might not share in the joyous reunion we envision can bring an indescribable sorrow, one that challenges our understanding of divine mercy and justice. Still, it also compels us to examine the urgency of sharing the gospel and nurturing our spiritual relationships. In this struggle lies a call to action, a plea to invest in the salvation of those around us. Every heartfelt conversation about faith, every moment of vulnerability shared with a loved one, is a chance to plant seeds of hope that may blossom into eternal life. It is a reminder that our earthly connections are not just incidental, they are deeply intertwined with our eternal fate. The gravity of this realization should stir us to live boldly and compassionately, reaching out to those who have yet to experience the transformative power of Christ's love. There is a bittersweet beauty in this tension between love and loss. Even as we cling to the promise of recognizing our loved ones in heaven, we are called to confront the reality that not every heart will be open to the eternal invitation. This is a truth that many struggle with, a truth that forces us to grapple with the limits of our influence and the boundaries of our human frailty. Yet it is also an opportunity to reflect on the character of God, who, in His infinite wisdom, balances justice with mercy. His desire is for all to be saved, and His patience in extending grace is a constant invitation to transformation. The sorrow of potentially eternal separation from unbelieving family members should not lead us to despair, but rather inspire us to act. When we witness the pain of separation, it is as if our own hearts are divided. In these moments, we must ask ourselves, are we living in a way that reflects the urgency of the gospel? Are we embracing every chance to be a beacon of hope, a testimony to the love that can overcome even the deepest divides? These are not easy questions to answer, yet they are essential if we are to fulfill the calling of our eternal destiny. Our journey toward understanding the eternal nature of family takes us through these difficult questions, inviting us to consider the power of prayer, the importance of compassion, and the necessity of steadfast faith. It is a journey that challenges us to reflect on our own hearts and to consider how our actions in this life impact the relationships we will carry into eternity. Every moment we choose to share love, forgiveness, and understanding, we build bridges that may one day lead even the most wayward soul back to the embrace of divine grace. The painful reality of unbelieving loved ones also illuminates the profound responsibility we have toward one another. It calls us to not only cherish those who already share our faith, but also to extend our hands and hearts to those still lost in the shadows of doubt. This mission is not about coercion or judgment, but about the gentle yet persistent sharing of a hope that transforms lives. It is about creating spaces where questions can be asked, doubts can be met with compassion, and every individual is given the opportunity to encounter the saving love of Jesus. Every story of redemption, every testimony of a life changed, reinforces the truth that our destiny is not sealed by the choices of the past, but is continually shaped by the grace of God. In the midst of our sorrow, there is an invitation to be a part of that ongoing miracle, a miracle where no one is beyond the reach of divine love. The assurance that we will one day be reunited with those who have embraced the truth gives us the courage to persist in our mission, even when the outcome remains uncertain. Reflect on this. The eternal reunion promised by Scripture is a reminder that every relationship we nurture today has eternal implications. If the hope of a future where every bond is restored fills you with passion and determination, please type Divine Reunion in the comments below. Your words not only affirm this profound truth, but also help to spread the message of hope and urgency to all who may be listening. The pain of separation, though real and heartrending, does not diminish the beauty of the eternal promise. Instead, it magnifies the importance of every moment spent in love, every act of grace offered in forgiveness, and every effort made to share the light of the gospel. The future that awaits us is a testament to the power of transformation, a future where every tear and every heartache is replaced by a love so complete and all-encompassing that no soul will ever be left behind. The promise of eternal family invites us to re-examine our own lives in the light of an everlasting destiny. In this understanding, every shared smile, every tear of joy or sorrow, and every quiet moment of understanding becomes a building block for the eternal reunion that awaits us. We are encouraged to invest in our relationships with the assurance that these connections will not be diminished by time or loss, but rather refined into something infinitely more beautiful. This renewed perspective calls us to embrace a lifestyle steeped in love, compassion, and intentionality. The seemingly ordinary moments of our lives, family dinners, heartfelt conversations, the gentle reassurance in a touch or hug, are transformed into sacred rituals that prepare us for the greater celebration of unity that is promised in heaven. It is in these small, everyday acts that the seeds of eternal love are sown. When we choose to be patient and understanding, to forgive and to nurture, we are actively participating in the divine narrative of redemption and reunion. Our earthly experience is a rehearsal for the glory that lies ahead. Every hardship we endure, every trial we face, becomes an opportunity for spiritual growth. It is through these experiences that our hearts are softened, our perspectives broadened, and our love deepened. The pain we sometimes feel in the wake of loss is not a sign of defeat, but a reflection of the deep bonds we have formed. These bonds are not meant to be broken by death. They are meant to be celebrated in a fuller, richer dimension in the life to come. The Scriptures remind us that our time on earth is fleeting compared to the endless expanse of eternity. This truth instills in us a sense of urgency, not to rush through life, but to live each day with a purpose that is aligned with our eternal destiny. In this light, every interaction becomes an opportunity to demonstrate the love of Christ. Our words, our actions, and our very presence serve as a testimony to the transformative power of God's grace. We are called to be beacons of hope, drawing others into the warmth of a love that is unchanging and everlasting. It is in this spirit of urgency that we are invited to reforge broken bonds and to extend forgiveness where there has been hurt. The process of healing is not always easy, and the scars of past conflicts may run deep. Yet, in the promise of eternal reunion, there is a healing power that transcends the limitations of our earthly nature. When we choose to forgive, we open ourselves to the possibility of reconciliation, a reconciliation that mirrors the divine forgiveness extended to us. This is not about erasing the past, but about transforming it into a testimony of God's boundless mercy. In our communities, the call to build bridges of understanding and compassion is equally important. The unity of believers is a foretaste of the harmony that awaits in heaven. As we gather in fellowship, whether in a church setting or in the quiet moments of shared prayer and reflection, we experience a glimpse of that eternal unity. The bonds of friendship and kinship formed in these sacred spaces are reminders that we are never truly alone. Every kind word spoken, every helping hand extended, contributes to a legacy of love that will resonate for eternity. Reflect on the moments when you have felt truly understood and deeply loved. Those instances are not mere coincidences. They are divine appointments where God has touched your life. They are affirmations of the truth that our relationships are meant to endure beyond the confines of this life. Each memory is a promise, a fragment of the eternal mosaic that awaits us in the presence of our Creator. It is a promise that, no matter how far apart we may seem in the present, our souls remain intricately connected, destined to be reunited in a love that knows no bounds. This profound understanding of eternal family also challenges us to live in a way that is radically different from the patterns of a transient world. It calls us to prioritize the things that matter most: love, forgiveness, and meaningful connection. In a society often driven by the pursuit of material success and fleeting pleasures, the promise of heaven serves as a powerful reminder of the true riches that await us. The treasure of eternal love far outweighs any temporary gain, and it is this treasure that we are invited to seek above all else. Our journey toward eternal reunion is also a call to action for those who have yet to experience the saving love of Christ. Each one of us is entrusted with the responsibility of sharing this hope with others. It is not enough to simply cherish the promise for ourselves. We must also extend it to those around us. Every conversation about faith, every act of kindness, and every moment spent in prayer for a loved one is a step toward a future where every soul is embraced by divine grace. This mission, though daunting at times, is the very essence of what it means to be part of God's family. If the vision of an eternal reunion fills you with a sense of purpose and determination, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments by typing "Eternal Unity." Your participation not only strengthens your own faith, but also encourages others to embrace this beautiful promise. Together, we can create a ripple effect of hope that reaches far beyond our immediate circles, touching lives and transforming hearts. The promise of eternal family is a call to live each day with intentionality, love, and unwavering hope. It reminds us that every moment is precious, every connection is sacred, and every act of kindness is an investment in the life to come. Our journey on earth is but a prelude to the glorious celebration of reunion that awaits us in heaven. A reunion where every tear is replaced by joy, every sorrow is transformed into hope, and every bond is made whole in the light of divine love. In this unfolding tapestry of eternal hope, the promise of reunion not only redefines our present, but also reorients our future. The awareness that our lives are intertwined with an everlasting destiny calls us to examine the depth of our convictions and the integrity of our daily walk with faith. Every decision we make, every moment of vulnerability, and every act of love is a declaration of our commitment to a future that is both luminous and unyielding. The anticipation of reuniting with those who have shaped our journey impels us to live authentically and courageously, laying down the foundations of relationships that defy the boundaries of time. The impact of this eternal perspective is far-reaching. It transforms the mundane into the sacred, infusing each day with purpose and every encounter with meaning. When we approach life with the certainty of an eternal reunion, even the smallest gesture becomes a deliberate act of faith. The simple act of listening, the willingness to forgive, and the readiness to extend grace are not merely ephemeral expressions of kindness, but are, in fact, investments in the eternal fabric of our souls. These are the moments that build a legacy, one that echoes in the corridors of eternity and testifies to the transformative power of divine love. In moments of solitude, when the weight of life's challenges feels overwhelming, the promise of heaven offers a sanctuary of solace and renewal. It whispers to our hearts that every trial is temporary, that every hardship is but a prelude to a joy so profound it defies human understanding. The pain we endure is not wasted, it is refined and repurposed into strength, compassion, and wisdom. This perspective encourages us to see beyond the immediate and to trust that our struggles are shaping us for a future where the scars of yesterday will be healed by the perfect light of tomorrow. Even in the midst of our daily routines, this eternal promise redefines the nature of our interactions. The thought of a future reunion imparts a sacred urgency to every conversation and every shared moment. It compels us to seek reconciliation where there is discord, to offer support where there is despair, and to extend love where there is indifference. Our relationships, forged in the crucible of life's uncertainties, are meant to endure and flourish in the embrace of eternity. This understanding transforms our time together into a cherished rehearsal for the grand celebration of unity that awaits us. At times, the burden of unanswered questions about the afterlife may cast shadows over our hearts. Yet even these moments of doubt are met with the radiant assurance that comes from a life lived in the light of faith. The scriptures remind us that our finite understanding is but a glimpse into an infinite mystery, a mystery that is gradually revealed through the transformative power of divine revelation. This ongoing revelation is not static. It is a dynamic process that invites us to grow, to question, and ultimately, to trust in the promise of a future where every longing is fulfilled. Our commitment to this eternal vision is further deepened by the community of believers who share this hope. Within our spiritual families, we find not only solace, but also the strength to persevere. Together, we form a living testimony to the reality of God's promises. The fellowship we experience in our places of worship, in shared prayer, and in acts of service reinforces our belief that we are not alone on this journey. Each member of our community contributes a unique note to the symphony of eternal love, a melody that resonates far beyond our earthly confines and speaks to the universal truth of divine unity. As we reflect on the profound implications of an eternal reunion, we are called to embrace a mindset of gratitude and active engagement. Every sunrise brings with it the opportunity to honor the promise of heaven by living with intentionality and purpose. The gratitude we express for each moment spent with loved ones is not merely an acknowledgement of the past. It is a celebration of a future where every bond is restored in its most pristine form. This gratitude serves as a powerful motivator, inspiring us to live in a way that reflects the eternal joy and peace promised to us by our Creator. The legacy we leave behind is intricately woven into the lives of those we touch. Our actions today set the stage for the eternal narrative that will one day unfold in the presence of our Lord. It is in the legacy of love, forgiveness, and unwavering hope that our true identity is revealed, a reflection of the divine image in which we were created. Every word spoken, every tear shed in both sorrow and joy contributes to the eternal story of a family that transcends all earthly limitations. This is the promise that fuels our hearts and enlivens our spirits, that one day, every smile, every embrace, and every shared memory will converge in a moment of glorious reunion. If this vision of eternal unity ignites a spark within you, I invite you to share your thoughts by typing "Eternal Legacy" in the comments below. Your engagement is not only a personal affirmation of this divine promise, but also a beacon of hope that can inspire others to embrace this profound truth. In doing so, you contribute to a collective affirmation of faith that resonates with the timeless promise of eternal family. Let the promise of tomorrow infuse every moment of today with meaning. Every decision to extend love, every effort to bridge divides, and every step taken in faith is a declaration that our earthly journey is merely the beginning of an everlasting embrace. Our lives, interwoven with moments of grace and love, become a testament to the eternal reunion that awaits us, a reunion where every heart finds its home in the infinite love of our Creator. As we press forward into the heart of our divine narrative, we encounter the profound interplay between faith and the everyday. This eternal perspective is not merely a distant promise, but a transformative force that permeates each aspect of our lives, urging us to see every trial, every joy, and every shared moment as a vital part of an everlasting tapestry. The assurance of recognizing our loved ones in heaven does more than comfort us. It redefines our entire existence. It compels us to live with a passion that mirrors the divine, to act with a certainty that every encounter is a sacred preparation for the eternal reunion that awaits. The transformation begins when we acknowledge that the moments of sorrow we endure are not isolated instances of loss, but rather stepping stones to a grand unifying future. Each challenge, whether it be the sting of regret or the burden of unresolved conflicts, carries within it the potential for deep healing. When we face these challenges with a spirit of humility and a willingness to forgive, we participate in a divine process that refines our character and prepares us for the fullness of God's promise. The scars we bear are not symbols of defeat, but marks of a journey that has led us to a deeper understanding of love and grace. In our daily lives, the significance of every encounter is magnified by the awareness of an eternal destiny. A simple conversation with a friend, a moment of shared laughter, or even a silent prayer of gratitude can serve as a reminder of the timeless connections that bind us. These seemingly ordinary acts become extraordinary when seen through the lens of eternity. They are echoes of a future where every gesture is magnified into an expression of divine love. This perspective transforms mundane routines into sacred rituals, imbuing them with purpose and meaning that extend far beyond our immediate experience. The promise of eternal reunion also invites us to live courageously in the face of uncertainty. Life is rife with unpredictable twists and turns, yet the knowledge that our existence is part of a larger divine plan offers us an unwavering foundation upon which to build our hopes. This foundation is not built on the shifting sands of circumstance, but on the steadfast truths of Scripture, a truth that reassures us that our journey is directed by a loving hand. In times of doubt, when the weight of the world seems unbearable, this eternal assurance becomes our anchor. It steadies us, reminding us that even in the midst of life's storms, there is a harbor of peace where every broken piece is lovingly restored. Furthermore, this eternal perspective deepens our relationships in a way that transcends the superficial. It calls us to see one another not just as individuals bound by temporary ties, but as beloved members of a family that stretches across time and space. This vision of unity is both humbling and inspiring. It challenges us to extend empathy and compassion to those around us, recognizing that every person carries within them a spark of the divine. In our interactions, we are reminded that each soul is on a unique journey towards the ultimate reunion, and that our shared experiences, no matter how fleeting, contribute to the greater mosaic of love that defines our eternal destiny. The call to live with an eternal perspective is also a call to serve. In our communities, we find opportunities to reflect the love of God through acts of kindness and service to others, whether it's through volunteering, supporting those in need, or simply being present for someone in pain. Every act of service is a testament to the eternal legacy we are building. These acts are not just gestures of goodwill, they are investments in a future where every life is cherished and every bond is celebrated. As we serve others, we embody the truth that our earthly actions have eternal consequences, a truth that inspires us to act with intentionality and love. This eternal vision extends beyond personal interactions into the very way we approach the world around us. It calls us to be stewards of the relationships and communities we are a part of, to nurture environments where love, forgiveness, and unity can flourish. In a world often marred by division and conflict, the promise of eternal family stands as a beacon of hope. It reminds us that despite our differences, we are all bound by a common destiny, a destiny where every conflict is resolved, every wound is healed, and every soul finds its rightful place in the embrace of divine love. Reflect on the ways in which your life has been touched by moments of profound connection. Those instances when a kind word or a heartfelt gesture made you feel seen, understood, and loved. These moments are not accidents. They are divinely orchestrated reminders that our journey is part of something far greater than ourselves. They are the gentle whispers of eternity, calling us to recognize the beauty of every encounter and to live in a way that honors the promise of a future reunion. In these moments, the promise of eternal family becomes not just a theological concept, but a lived reality. a reality that transforms how we see ourselves and how we relate to others. As you consider this profound tapestry of love and eternal hope, remember that each day is a precious opportunity to build upon this divine legacy. Every act of love, every effort to bridge a divide, every moment spent in the service of others contributes to the eternal narrative that awaits us. Our lives are not isolated incidents, but are intricately woven into the fabric of an everlasting family. This is the promise that calls us to live boldly and with unwavering hope, a promise that transcends every challenge and illuminates the path to a future where every heart finds its home in the eternal embrace of our Creator. If this message of eternal service and divine unity resonates with you, please share unyielding faith in the comments below. Your words are a testament to the living hope that binds us all, and they can inspire others to embrace this transformative vision of eternity. In the gentle unfolding of eternity, every aspect of our existence is transformed by the promise of a future where every bond is eternally cherished. Our daily lives, with all their joys and trials, become the sacred rehearsal for a grand reunion that transcends all human understanding. The journey toward this eternal promise calls us to see our lives as intertwined with a divine purpose, where every moment of connection, every act of kindness, and every word of encouragement contributes to the eternal legacy that awaits us. This perspective reshapes not only our personal relationships, but also the way we engage with the world around us. Consider the power of shared experiences. In moments of deep conversation, when hearts open and souls connect, there exists a profound energy that mirrors the eternal love promised to us. These experiences are not isolated events. They are part of a continuous stream of grace that carries us closer to the divine. The echo of a gentle laugh, the reassurance in a loving touch, or the warmth of a genuine smile are all manifestations of a love that does not fade with time. Instead, they are imprints on our souls, reminders of a future where every emotion and every memory will be relived in its most perfect form. The promise of eternal unity challenges us to go beyond surface-level interactions. It calls us to engage deeply with one another, to listen intently and speak with compassion, and to create spaces where vulnerability is met with empathy. In this light, even the simplest exchanges become opportunities for profound transformation. A shared meal, a quiet moment of prayer, or an unexpected conversation with a stranger can become the catalyst for lasting change. These moments, seemingly small in the vast tapestry of our lives, are actually the threads that weave together the eternal fabric of community. Within the context of our communities, the promise of eternal family takes on a powerful significance. It is a call to cultivate relationships that reflect the boundless love of our Creator. In every act of service, in every moment of sacrifice for another, we are not only touching lives in the present, but also paving the way for an everlasting communion. This vision of community is one where every member is valued, where every story matters, and where every act of kindness is a step toward a reunion that is as inevitable as it is glorious. The strength of these bonds is measured not by the fleeting moments of our daily lives, but by the enduring legacy of love that they create. The reality of our eternal destiny also inspires a profound sense of hope amidst the challenges of life. Even when faced with adversity, the promise that our struggles have a purpose beyond the immediate offers comfort and resilience. The trials we endure are not random. They are part of a divine process that refines our character and deepens our capacity for love. Each challenge, each moment of hardship, is an invitation to grow and to draw closer to the divine source of all love. In this growth, we find the strength to forgive, to heal, and to rebuild the bridges that connect us with one another. This process of transformation is the very essence of the promise that awaits us, a promise where every wound is healed and every broken piece is restored to its rightful place in the eternal mosaic of family. This eternal vision also reshapes our understanding of time. What we perceive as fleeting moments are, in truth, everlasting imprints on the heart. The present is not separate from the future. It is a continuous thread that connects us to the eternal now. In every heartbeat, every breath, there is a reflection of the divine promise. The laughter shared in a moment of joy, the tears shed in times of sorrow, and the quiet reflections of a solitary prayer are all part of a continuum that will one day culminate in a joyous reunion. This realization transforms the mundane into the magnificent, urging us to live each moment as if it were both a cherished memory and a promise of what is yet to come. In the quiet moments of reflection, we are reminded that our earthly experiences are stepping stones to a greater reality. The bonds of family, friendship, and community are not confined to the physical realm. They extend into the eternal. The love we nurture today will be magnified in the fullness of time, revealing itself in ways that defy our current understanding. Our relationships, though sometimes marred by misunderstandings and pain, are destined for perfection in a realm where every tear is replaced by joy and every sorrow transformed into hope. This promise invites us to view our lives through the lens of eternity, where every action has significance and every connection is a part of the divine narrative. Embracing this eternal promise requires us to live intentionally, with hearts attuned to the beauty of every encounter. It calls for a commitment to build a legacy of love that transcends the limitations of time. As we extend forgiveness, share kindness, and open our hearts to one another, we are actively participating in the creation of an everlasting family, a family not defined by blood alone, but by the depth of our shared humanity and our collective journey toward the divine. In every act of selflessness and every moment of genuine connection, we are reminded of the truth that our lives are part of something far greater than ourselves. If this vision of eternal promise fills your heart with hope, I invite you to type "eternal promise" in the comments below. Your words of affirmation not only enrich your own journey, but also serve as a beacon of inspiration for others seeking to embrace this transformative truth. Let us together build a community that reflects the divine love and unity promised to us. A community where every heart is cherished, every soul recognized, and every bond celebrated for all eternity. The depth of our eternal journey continues to unfold as we explore the intricate ways in which the promise of reunion and divine love redefines our perceptions of loss and legacy. Our earthly relationships, though transient in form, are imbued with a sacred permanence when seen through the lens of eternity. Each moment of connection, be it a shared laugh, a tear shed in comfort, or the silent understanding between hearts, serves as a precious reminder that the bonds we forge now are the very foundations of our everlasting family. This eternal perspective invites us to reconsider the nature of our memories. Far from being mere snapshots of the past, our recollections are vibrant threads that weave together the fabric of our future. Every memory, no matter how seemingly small, carries within it the potential to shine with the brilliance of divine truth. In the quiet solitude of reflection, the echoes of cherished moments become the assurance that our souls will one day gather in a reunion where every detail is restored to its perfect, unblemished glory. Our hearts are continuously being shaped by the interplay of joy and sorrow, and it is within this interplay that the true measure of our character is revealed. The experiences of loss, though painful, refine us and prepare us for the magnificent embrace that awaits beyond the veil of earthly existence. In every act of mourning, there is also a seed of hope, a promise that the parting is not forever, but a prelude to a more profound and everlasting connection. This understanding compels us to hold on to our memories not as relics of what once was, but as affirmations of a future where every bond is cherished anew. The legacy we build is not confined to the tangible achievements of our lives, but is etched in the intangible love we share with others. It is in the stories we pass on, the lessons we learn from one another, and the moments of kindness that we extend that our eternal narrative is written. Our lives become a testament to the transformative power of love, a power that transcends time, space, and even death itself. When we share our experiences and our hope with those around us, we contribute to a collective story of redemption and reunion that resonates far beyond our immediate circle. In the midst of life's unpredictability, the promise of eternal reunion offers a steadfast anchor. It assures us that no matter the hardships we face, there is a horizon filled with promise, where every tear is turned into a jewel of joy, and every wound is healed by the tender grace of our Creator. This hope is not passive. It is a dynamic force that motivates us to live with courage, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to nurturing our relationships. It challenges us to mend the fractures in our lives, to forgive where there is pain, and to extend love even in the face of adversity. Our daily lives, with all their ups and downs, are part of a larger divine tapestry. Each encounter, each fleeting moment of human connection, is a deliberate stroke in the masterpiece that God is painting for our eternal family. This realization transforms the mundane into the miraculous. A simple conversation, a shared silence, or a spontaneous act of kindness becomes a sacred ritual that affirms our shared destiny. These moments are imbued with an eternal significance that calls us to be fully present, to appreciate the beauty in every encounter, and to recognize that our lives are not isolated incidents but integral parts of an everlasting plan. This understanding also brings us face to face with the reality of our own vulnerabilities. It is in acknowledging our imperfections that we come to grasp the boundless nature of divine mercy. The promise of eternal family does not demand perfection. Rather, it offers a future where every imperfection is refined and every broken piece is restored. In this light, our struggles and our shortcomings are not reasons for despair, but opportunities for growth and transformation. They remind us that the journey toward eternal reunion is not free from challenges, but that every challenge is a stepping stone toward a more profound connection with God and with each other. Community plays an essential role in this divine narrative. In fellowship, we find the strength to persevere and the encouragement to continue on our journey. The shared hope of an eternal reunion binds us together, creating a network of support and love that is both nurturing and empowering. In the embrace of our spiritual community, we see a reflection of the heavenly family we are destined to join, a family where every member is valued, every voice is heard, and every heart is united in the love of Christ. This communal bond serves as a living testimony to the promise of eternal unity, inspiring us to reach out, share our stories, and build bridges that span the chasms of isolation and despair. As we navigate through life's unpredictable journey, the promise of eternal reunion serves as a constant reminder that our time here is not wasted. Each day is an invitation to invest in relationships that matter, to leave a legacy of love that will echo in eternity, and to trust in the divine promise that every bond will be restored in its most glorious form. The vision of a future where every tear is replaced with joy and every separation is healed with divine grace offers us not just comfort, but a clear purpose to live each day as a testament to the unbreakable, eternal nature of love. If this message of enduring legacy and unbreakable bonds fills your heart, please share timeless love in the comments below. Your voice not only reinforces this divine promise, but also lights the way for others to embrace the hope that our relationships are eternal, transcending even the boundaries of time and death. Our eternal journey continues as we delve deeper into the profound mystery of how love transcends not only time, but also the boundaries that separate us from our divine destiny. In the midst of our earthly struggles, the promise of reunion with our loved ones and with the Creator offers a beacon of light that guides us through the darkest moments. This guiding light is not only a source of comfort, but also a powerful motivator to live each day with an open heart and a spirit full of hope. Every trial we face, every moment of despair or joy, becomes an integral part of a vast interwoven tapestry that ultimately leads us to a place where every bond is celebrated in its fullest form. The beauty of this promise is that it calls us to recognize that our relationships, no matter how fragmented or imperfect they may seem now, are destined for a future where they are perfected in a divine embrace. Consider the countless moments when a kind gesture or a compassionate word has unexpectedly touched your soul. These are the subtle reminders that love, in its purest form, is already at work in our lives. Such moments are not random or inconsequential. They are carefully arranged parts of a grand design, each one a precursor to the reunion that awaits us. This divine orchestration assures us that even in times of loneliness or loss, there is an ever-present hope that beckons us toward eternal unity. In this light, our present actions acquire a profound significance. Every decision to forgive, every effort to mend a broken relationship, and every act of unconditional love contributes to the legacy we leave behind. It is as if each moment of reconciliation and every shared smile is a stepping stone leading us to that ultimate reunion, a moment when all the separations of life are dissolved and every heart is united in the warmth of divine love. This realization invites us to live more intentionally, to invest in our relationships with a view that transcends the immediate and reaches into eternity. The choices we make are not merely for today, they are the seeds of an everlasting bond that will flourish in the fullness of time. Moreover, the promise of eternal reunion encourages us to embrace a vision of life that is both expansive and intimate. It is expansive in that it stretches beyond the confines of our current existence, reaching into a future filled with hope, joy, and unbreakable bonds. Yet it is also deeply intimate, reminding us that the love we share is personal and uniquely tailored to each individual. No two souls are identical, and in the eternal family, every unique identity is celebrated and cherished. This intimate acknowledgement of our individuality is what makes the promise so beautiful. It reassures us that our distinctive qualities, our quirks and idiosyncrasies, will not be lost in the grand scheme of eternity, but will instead be woven into the very fabric of a divine mosaic, where every piece is essential and every detail is honored. Reflecting on the impact of this promise, we are drawn to the realization that our lives are not isolated incidents, but are deeply connected to a larger narrative. The threads of our relationships, those with family, friends, and even strangers, form a network that spans across time and space, a network that is destined to be reunited in a glorious celebration of life. In this network, every interaction has a lasting impact. Every gesture of kindness is a note in the symphony of our eternal legacy. It is this interconnectedness that gives our lives meaning, that transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. When we acknowledge that every heart we touch and every soul we encounter is part of a divine plan, our perspective shifts. We begin to see every moment as an opportunity to contribute to a legacy of love that will outlast the boundaries of our earthly existence. This understanding also instills in us a sense of humility and gratitude. We come to recognize that the gift of eternal reunion is not something we can earn or achieve through our own efforts. It is a gracious promise bestowed upon us by a loving Creator. In this light, every act of love and every moment of genuine connection becomes a response to a divine invitation. It is a call to live in a manner that is reflective of the grace we have received, a grace that transforms our hearts and enables us to love more deeply, more freely, and more completely. The gratitude that arises from this recognition is not passive. It propels us to share that love with others, to build bridges of understanding, and to create communities that mirror the eternal family promised to us. As we continue to navigate the complexities of our earthly journey, the promise of eternal reunion remains a constant source of inspiration and strength. It reassures us that no matter how fragmented or challenging our relationships may seem at times, there is a future where every wound is healed, every tear is replaced by joy, and every loss is transformed into a triumphant reunion. This vision of a future filled with unending love compels us to persevere, to keep nurturing our relationships even in the face of adversity, and to hold fast to the hope that our lives are part of something infinitely greater than ourselves. Let this truth sink deeply into your heart. The promise of eternal family is a reality that redefines every aspect of our existence. It calls on us to live boldly, to cherish every connection, and to invest in the legacy of love that we are creating with each passing day. Every moment is a gift, every interaction a chance to reflect the divine love that awaits us. If you are moved by this vision of eternal connection and unyielding hope, please type boundless love in the comments below. Your participation not only reinforces this divine promise, but also lights a path for others to join in this journey toward an everlasting reunion. As our exploration of eternal truths deepens, we begin to understand that every moment of our mortal journey is imbued with the potential to echo in the realms of eternity. Our relationships, once seen as temporary fixtures in a transient world, now take on a profound dimension that stretches far beyond our current experience. Every smile, every act of kindness, every shared tear is a part of an eternal dialogue between the human heart and the divine promise of reunion. This dialogue is not confined by time or space. It transcends all limitations, weaving our individual stories into the vast tapestry of a celestial family. In this light, the struggles and trials we face are reframed as opportunities for spiritual refinement. Each challenge is a gentle reminder that growth often comes through overcoming obstacles, and that the process of healing is both transformative and necessary. The hardships of today prepare us for the abundant joy of tomorrow, where every sorrow is replaced with the radiant light of eternal love. As we navigate the complexities of life, the assurance of a future reunion serves as a beacon, guiding us to live with a heart that is resilient, compassionate, and full of grace. This promise calls us to an active participation in our own transformation. It invites us to shed the burdens of past mistakes and to embrace a future where every fractured piece of our being is lovingly restored. In the divine perspective, nothing is wasted, and every experience, no matter how painful, contributes to the masterpiece of our eternal identity. The journey toward reunion is not about the perfection of our present state, but about the continuous process of renewal that leads us to a state of complete wholeness, a state where every bond is reformed and every wound healed. The transformative power of divine love manifests itself in the way we choose to connect with one another. The simple act of extending forgiveness, the courage to mend a broken relationship, and the willingness to open our hearts to reconciliation are all reflections of an eternal truth. These actions are far more than just moments of temporary relief. They are investments in the future, laying the groundwork for an everlasting union where every heart finds its place in the embrace of unconditional love. It is through these acts that the promise of eternal family is made tangible, as we actively participate in creating the legacy that will be celebrated for all time. Moreover, this eternal perspective reshapes how we view the concept of time. The present is not an isolated point, but a continuous stream that flows seamlessly into the future. Every decision made, every sacrifice rendered, and every moment of love shared is a ripple in the vast ocean of eternity. Our lives are interconnected with the divine narrative, and each step we take is a testament to the enduring power of hope and faith. The promise of eternal reunion reminds us that our journey does not end with the closing of a chapter, but rather culminates in a glorious new beginning, where every parting is but a prelude to a joyful reunion. Within this grand vision, community stands as an essential pillar of support. The collective hope and shared experiences of those who believe create an environment where every individual feels valued and connected. In the warmth of communal fellowship, we find strength, encouragement, and the realization that we are not alone on this path. Each story of redemption, every act of compassion, and every moment of shared faith contributes to a collective testament of divine love that will one day be witnessed in its fullness at the eternal reunion. If this vision of enduring transformation and everlasting connection resonates with you, please type "infinite restoration" in the comments below. Your affirmation not only strengthens your own journey, but also becomes a beacon of hope for those around you, guiding others toward the promise of eternal family. In the continuous flow of our eternal narrative, we arrive at a juncture where every lesson learned, every moment of love shared, and every trial overcome is woven into a tapestry of divine purpose. Our journey, marked by the highs of hope and the lows of human frailty, has led us to an understanding that every encounter, no matter how brief or seemingly insignificant, carries within it the promise of eternal connection. Each heartbeat, each whispered prayer, and every act of grace contributes to a legacy that transcends the boundaries of our mortal lives. Every experience on this journey has been a stepping stone toward the revelation of our true destiny, A destiny where the love we have sown now will one day blossom into a harvest of eternal unity. The trials and tribulations we face are not barriers, but catalysts that refine our souls and prepare us for the magnificence of a future where every bond is restored in its most complete form. It is within the crucible of life's hardships that our faith is tested and, in turn, strengthened. In these moments, when the weight of sorrow or regret seems unbearable, the promise of divine restoration offers a ray of hope that illuminates even the darkest paths. This promise compels us to live with a fervent urgency, to seek reconciliation where there is discord, and to embrace forgiveness as the key that unlocks the door to lasting unity. When we extend our hands in forgiveness, we are not merely healing old wounds. We are actively constructing the bridge that will carry us to that eternal reunion. Each act of mercy is an investment in the future, a testament to the transformative power of love that knows no end. Our lives become a living testimony to the truth that even the deepest pain can be transmuted into beauty through the grace of a loving Creator. In the quiet moments of reflection, we are reminded that the relationships we cherish are the very essence of our existence. They are the touchstones that define who we are and shape the legacy we leave behind. When we look back on the tapestry of our lives, it is the threads of compassion, empathy, and shared hope that stand out as the most enduring. These threads are interlaced with the promise that no tear is wasted, no pain is forgotten, and no love is ever lost. They serve as a constant reminder that every farewell is but a temporary pause before the joy of a complete and everlasting reunion. Our journey is enriched by the support of a community that shares in this eternal hope. The Fellowship of Believers is more than a mere gathering. It is a sanctuary where hearts are mended and spirits are uplifted. In the collective embrace of our spiritual family, we find solace and strength, knowing that our individual struggles are part of a larger divine plan. This communal bond is a mirror of the perfect unity that awaits us, where every voice is heard and every soul is cherished without exception. It is in this unity that we discover the true meaning of love, a love that is selfless, unwavering, and boundless. As we continue to walk this path, the promise of eternal reunion calls us to be vigilant in nurturing the relationships that matter most. Every shared smile, every comforting word, and every compassionate act is a testament to our commitment to a future where love reigns supreme. The awareness of this promise transforms mundane moments into sacred opportunities to build lasting connections. It challenges us to live each day with intention, knowing that the legacy of our love is the most precious inheritance we can pass on to those who will follow. This eternal perspective also invites us to view our individual journeys as integral parts of a vast, interconnected story. Our lives are not isolated episodes, but chapters in a grand narrative authored by a loving and purposeful Creator. Each of us has a unique role to play, and every interaction is a verse in the ongoing song of eternal family. In recognizing this, we are inspired to approach life with humility and gratitude, understanding that our time here is both a precious gift and a responsibility. It is a call to leave a mark of kindness, to build bridges of understanding, and to sow seeds of hope that will bloom long after we have departed. As we contemplate the horizon of our eternal future, we are filled with an overwhelming sense of awe at the promise of reunion, a reunion where every heart is united, every separation healed, and every sorrow transformed into joy. The vision of that day, when all the fragments of our lives come together in a glorious symphony of divine love, is a beacon that guides us through every storm. It is a reminder that no matter how challenging our journey may seem, there is an everlasting light that awaits us, a light that is the embodiment of all the love, grace, and unity we have longed for. If this profound journey of hope and restoration resonates with you, I invite you to share Everlasting Embrace in the comments below. Your words of affirmation contribute to a collective chorus of hope, inspiring others to believe in the promise of eternal reunion and the transformative power of divine love. As we reach the culmination of our eternal journey, the narrative that has unfolded before us is a testament to the unbreakable bonds of love and the divine promise of reunion. Every word spoken, every memory cherished, and every act of kindness performed along this path has led us to this final revelation, a revelation that our lives are part of a grand, eternal design, where every connection is preserved in the radiant light of divine love. In this final chapter, we are called to embrace the fullness of our destiny with unwavering faith and open hearts. The trials we have endured, the moments of sorrow and loss, and even the fragments of broken relationships have all been gently refined by the grace of our Creator. They serve as stepping stones that have prepared us for a future where every tear is replaced by joy, every parting is but a prelude to a glorious reunion, and every heart is forever united in the embrace of everlasting love. Reflect on the sacred truth that our earthly existence is merely the beginning of a magnificent story, a story that continues into eternity. The promise of recognizing our loved ones in heaven is not a distant or abstract idea. It is a living, breathing hope that permeates our every moment. This hope gives us strength in times of despair, courage in moments of doubt, and a clear purpose that transcends the fleeting nature of our mortal life. It is a promise that invites us to build, nurture, and celebrate every relationship, knowing that the bonds we form are timeless and will be perfected in a realm where nothing is lost. Now, as we stand on the threshold of this eternal vision, let us remember that every act of love, every expression of forgiveness, and every gesture of compassion is a tribute to the eternal family that awaits us. It is in these acts that we actively participate in the unfolding of a divine plan, a plan that redefines every moment of our lives and transforms our present into a vibrant tapestry of hope and unity. Our shared journey is a reflection of the truth that our souls are interconnected in ways that surpass human understanding, and that the legacy of our love is destined to echo throughout eternity. The beauty of this eternal promise is that it calls us not only to look forward with anticipation, but also to live in the present with intentionality and gratitude. Each day is an opportunity to sow seeds of hope, to mend what is broken, and to build bridges of understanding that extend beyond the boundaries of time. In our daily lives, we have the chance to honor the legacy of those we love, to celebrate the moments of togetherness, and to create memories that will shine as beacons of divine light in the corridors of eternity. As our journey nears its end, let the promise of eternal reunion inspire you to live a life marked by generosity, empathy, and unwavering faith. Let it remind you that no matter how arduous the path may seem, there is a future filled with indescribable joy and unity awaiting you. A future where every part of your heart is healed, and every relationship is transformed into a reflection of divine perfection. The promise of that day, when all our sorrows are turned to joy and every separation is healed, is a light that guides us through every storm and fills our hearts with hope. In this sacred moment of reflection, I invite you to carry this eternal message with you. Share this hope with those around you, nurture the relationships that define you, and let every word of kindness, every gesture of love, serve as a reminder of the divine reunion that is destined for us all. Our lives, interwoven with moments of grace and the promise of everlasting connection, are the greatest testament to the transformative power of divine love. Before we part, take a moment to allow this final message to resonate deeply within your soul. Let it be the spark that ignites a renewed commitment to live each day in light of the eternal promise that awaits. A promise where every farewell is merely a temporary pause, and every moment of love is a step toward an everlasting embrace. If this journey has stirred your heart and reaffirmed your hope in the promise of eternal family, please share Infinite Embrace in the comments below. Your words are not only a personal affirmation, but also a beacon for others seeking to understand and experience the divine love that binds us all. Together, let us build a community where every soul is cherished, every story is valued, and the eternal promise of reunion is celebrated with joy and gratitude. Thank you for joining me on this profound journey. May the hope of eternal reunion guide your every step and fill your days with the light of divine love, now and forevermore.